Ladies and gentlemen, we meet again toward Parashat Ekev, and I think from this week's Parasha, we can learn a short and sweet message which is so important for each and every individual on a personal level, and also for us on a national level. Let's go into it. The Parasha begins, V'haya Ekev tishma'un et hadvarim, et hamishpatim ha'ele, u'shmartem v'asitem otam. If only you listen to these laws, safeguarding and keeping them. What is ushmatem va'asitem otam? What is to guard them and to do them? What are these two? What are these two verbs all about? Really, there's guarding and there's doing. What is guarding and doing? Why do these two work together? And it's not only there. Also, in the continuation of our parasha, we see quite clearly that these two go together. V'ata Yisrael ma Hashem Elokecha she'el me'imach ki im li'ira et Hashem Elokecha alechet b'chol drachav u'la'ava oto. We have to make a combination between fearing Hashem and loving Hashem. So if we put these together, the Ramban does that in Shmos. He explains the difference between doing and safeguarding. Doing are the positive mitzvot, and safeguarding are the negative mitzvot. La'asot is to do, is positive action, and lishmor is safeguarding, is a negative action, what you're guarding. And we have to do both. It's a package deal. We have to do both. We have to do the mitzvot aseh, the positive mitzvot, and we have to do the negative mitzvot. There's a balance here. Because if we have love, you love Hashem, of course you'll do the positive mitzvot, but you might go over the bounds and go over them and not protect yourself from the negative mitzvot. And if you keep them only in the negative mitzvot, if you have awe from Hashem and you're only in awe and you live in awe all the time, you freeze up. That's very good. You don't do the negative mitzvot, but you don't have the oomph. You don't get up and do the positive mitzvot. We have to have the right balance between what we. It's like driving a car. That you have to accelerate and you have to brake, and you have to have the right balance between accelerating, which is going forward, which is love, which is the positive mitzvot, and the brakes, which are holding you back and keeping the negative mitzvot and not doing the negative. The Ramban actually, as I mentioned, brings it out in Parshat Yitro, where there it says about Shabbos, Zachor et Yom HaShabbat l'kadsho. We have to remember the Shabbos, la'asot et HaShabbat, to make the Shabbos. That's a positive mitzvah, which means Kiddush, means Havdalah, means all the special things we do on Shabbos. However, in Va'es Chanan that we read last week, it says Shamor et Yom HaShabbat l'kadsho, which is all the negative mitzvot of Shabbat, that we can't cook, and we can't make a fire, and we can't drive a car. These are negative, and we sing in Lechadodi, Zachor v'Shamor b'dibur echad. The negative and the positive are one package deal, and we have to keep both of them going. But if we look a bit deeper into this parasha, we see an incredible phenomenon. The beginning of the parasha, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is telling Am Yisrael, do not be afraid. Go into Israel and conquer the land, and I'll be with you. And don't be afraid of anything. I'll take care. You might be afraid. For instance, here you might say to yourself, these nations are more numerous than we are. How will we be able to drive them out? And we'll have all kinds of hesitations, and we will have anxieties, and we'll be afraid to do what needs to be done to go into the land of Israel. And he mentions, don't worry, as I took you out of Egypt, and as you beat the battle against Sichon and Og, don't worry, I'm with you, and you'll succeed. And actually, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is giving Am Yisrael a boost of confidence before they go into the land of Israel. And then a few psukim later is the opposite. It says, okay, what the issue is now, you're going to enter the land of Israel, you have prosperity. Now, in prosperity, there are dangers. Because when you have prosperity, you might say to yourself, you know what? Prosperity, when you later have prosperity, be careful that you do not say to yourself, it was my strength and my personal power that brought all this prosperity. It's not our personal power. Hashem has helped us. So there is a problem here on a national level. On the one hand, Am Yisrael doesn't have the oomph to go and do it, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu was giving us a push and giving us self-confidence. On the other hand, saying, you know what, don't take this self-confidence too far, because when you take self-confidence too far, you become arrogant. And therefore, you have to have a right balance between it is to stay self-confident and not to become arrogant. And that is on a national level, but it's also true on a personal level. The Musa books, Orchas Tzadikim, Sas Yishorim, talk a lot about gaiva. Gaiva means arrogance. There is no avera that we do that hasn't got a touch of arrogance to it. But why should I do that? Why should I not do this? I know better. So what if it says I mustn't do that? I know better. A lot of Orchas Tzadikim says all our averos have a base in gaiva, in this arrogance. On the other hand, we must have self-confidence to do the mitzvahs. If you're frightened of arrogance all the time, you're frightened in front of you, freeze up, and you don't have the power to do, you might keep the negative mitzvot, but you haven't got the power to do the positive mitzvot. On the other hand, if you do the positive mitzvot and you go overboard, then you become arrogant. So what is the right balance? The right balance is self-confidence. This is true on a personal level, ladies and gentlemen, but this is true on a national level as well. Because if you take self-confidence on a national level, what you find is chosen people. We understand who we are, we understand our identity, and we understand, therefore we have to thank people, therefore we have to help people, therefore we have to, therefore there are a lot of expectations from us. And we're claiming special duties. But what happens if you take arrogance on the national level, you get racism. And racism is demanding. And racism is claiming special rights. And racism is putting down other people. And we have no expectations from people who are racists. It's bad energy. It's motivated by in negative ways. We have to be motivated in positive ways. What is positive ways? We're the chosen people, thank you. We're the chosen people. We're not the choosing people. We didn't choose Hashem. Not like the Christians chose Jesus or the Muslims chose Muhammad. No, we're not the choosing people. We're the chosen people. We were chosen by Hashem to be those people with the right balance, to have self-confidence, not to go overboard and become racists, but not to lack self-confidence and to just be swallowed in our sorrow, in our anxieties. The self-confidence is the right balance that this parasha is teaching us on a personal level and on a national level. Shabbat Shalom.